welcome to Back to School 2020, the virtual edition. Let me start off by saying that you all have done an amazing job getting your kiddos into the swing of things. We are all putting in overtime. You, your children, teachers, our office staff. Thank you for your questions and your feedback and your engagement. Thank you for your patience and your calmness during this odd start to the year. I actually came across something the other day that I wanted to take a minute to read out loud to you because it really sums up how I feel and how I hope that you feel right now too. So it says, look at how much you have already managed to adapt to. Look how resilient you have already been. There is no right way to respond to this because it's never, ever happened before. Give yourself some credit. There's no one in the world who has figured this out yet. So it's absolutely okay if you don't either. So try to keep a piece of that with you. I know these times are challenging, and just try to hold on to that idea that it's okay if you haven't figured it all out yet. I don't know anybody who has. I can speak for all of our staff members when I say that we want nothing more than to be back safely with our students. It's wonderful that I can hop onto Google Meets on a daily basis and pop into classrooms, but it sure does not beat seeing the students in person. So thank you for tuning in to our virtual Back to School. I have a couple of things that I want to share with you, and then I'll turn it over to your child's teacher. So attached to the message that had this video in it is also a form where you can ask questions. Please use that form. I will get back to you by Friday, and each teacher will also have their own form available. So you'll be able to ask them questions in that method as well, and they too will respond by Friday. Okay, so first off, a little bit about myself. I have been in LuCMR for a little over 20 years. I taught first grade, third grade, and fourth grade. And I most recently was working in the curriculum department where I actually got to work with all of the elementary schools in our area, and I learned a lot doing that. I'm super excited that I landed here at Grover Heights. It is a wonderful place to be, as most of you already know because you are returning students. My motto is both a question, what is best for students? And it's also a statement, what is best for students? So every decision we make here at Grover Heights is made through that lens of putting students first. Building connections is really, really important to me. Since I cannot do that in person, I am relying on connecting via email, Parent Square, Google Meets, the telephone. I appreciate all of the questions you have been asking and the feedback you have been giving. We've really made use of that and made changes and are continuing to make changes due to the feedback. So thank you for that. I'll be holding regular check-ins. I'm calling them parent principal coffees. Weekly for the month of September, and then probably monthly after that. We'll just see how things go. I'll be able to use this opportunity to give you any updates, answer any questions. I'll record these and put them on Parent Square so that if you can't attend, you can still see what we're talking about. So again, that form that I mentioned, there's a space for you to indicate your availability and whether or not you would be attending one of those meetings. And so please respond on that form. That'll help me schedule them, find a time where most people can join. Okay, on to some general school information. I wanted to give you a quick update on the social emotional component of distance learning. As you know, students in general might be struggling now more than ever with connecting with others. So as a district, we're holding what we're calling Friday Care groups. CARE stands for check-in, advise, redirect, engage. So this Friday Care meeting time allows teachers to focus on critical skills to help students build resilience during distance learning. We ask the students to rate their feelings on a simple scale, and that information helps the teacher know if anybody needs a little extra help. So TK through third grade students are learning about that scale for these first few weeks. If you are a parent of a 4th through 6th grade student, ask your child what the scale is. Ask them what the different colors are and what feelings are associated with those colors. and definitely start that conversation with your children. So these meetings are not counseling sessions. They're more like an advisory class at the middle or the high school level. Students are in smaller groups of 20 or fewer, and they have time to connect with one another. They have time to connect with their teacher. They learn some different strategies and skills that will help them during this time. If students do ask for help, or if they do indicate that a counseling session might be helpful, then all the regular procedures, including asking for parent permission to engage a student in counseling, all of those regular procedures are followed. Our care meetings at Grover Heights are every Friday from either 9 to 9:30 or from 9:30 to 10. So if you're not sure which group your child is in, definitely reach out to their teacher. And that login meeting counts for the synchronous part of the day. So your child after that may have some small group interaction. They might have some work to complete, some homework to catch up on, but that first care group login is what counts for the day. This year we'll also be adopting a social emotional curriculum that we can implement either during distance learning. It's also something we could implement once we return to in-person learning. So we hope to have something in place by the end of the first trimester. Another exciting program I want to tell you about is called One School, One Book. And the goal of this program is to help foster a love of reading, to build community, to increase literacy. It's a really fun way to do all of those things. So the basic idea is that each family in the school receives a copy of the same book, and we read it together. We ask families to read a portion nightly, or we provide read aloud so that you can listen together. We talk about the book in class. Siblings are reading the same book. Little buddies, big buddies are reading the same book. Staff members are all reading the same book. So as you can imagine, this can prompt some wonderful conversations about what everyone's reading, whether you're in kindergarten, 6th grade, anywhere in between, whether you're the adult involved. It's a really fun way to get connected. So we're planning on starting One School, One Book in the fall, but don't worry, we're not rushing into it. We know everyone needs some time to get settled. And speaking of reading, we are very excited that we will soon have the chance to let students check out books from our very own Grover Heights Library. And here's Miss Jackie to give you a sneak peek of what's to come.
Hi, Grover Heights families. This is Mrs. Jackie in the library, and I'm just here to show you a little bit about accessing our library online. Here I am on the Grover Heights Elementary School website. If you hover over Academics here and then scroll down to Library Media Center and click on that, that will take you to our library page. There's lots of fun stuff on this page. There's pictures of the kids. We also have links over here on the right, information about box tops, which has changed this year. Also read alouds here. This is picture books and chapter books that we've been recording and reading and recording online. So that's the link there. And there's also a link here that will send you to our Grover Heights Library collection. And there will be another video on that coming out soon with more information. So bye for now.
You can go ahead and click on that link and check it out now. We will be sending out some more directions next week, but you are welcome to check out the link a little bit later on after all the videos. Okay, so I wanted to also let you know about our supply pickup plan. We are adjusting as we go, and right now we're planning on having supplies available for pickup the first and the third Friday of the month. So these would be maybe if your child's teacher has some math workbook for them to pick up, or if they need some extra paper or something like that, they would have that put together for pickup. So we'll have the supplies out on the tables from 10:30 to 3:30. The first and the third Friday of the month, and your teacher will notify you if you have supplies to pick up. Not all classes will have things that they need to get picked up. So this Friday, September 4th, will be our first pickup day, and actually this Friday we'll be out there until 5 o'clock. So come by anytime between 10:30 and 5 if your teacher has supplies for you. We'll have everything set up on the grass, and please practice social distancing when you pick up your supplies. All right, moving along to attendance, and we are almost finished. Attendance continues to be just as important during distance learning. If your child is sick, please call the office and let us know. You can email a picture of the doctor's note if you have a doctor's note. If you are experiencing internet or power issues, then please let your child's teacher know right away. You can also let the office know because it might be something that we can help with. All right, one very last thing, please join our Grover Heights PTA. A video went out last week that talked about how to join and why you should join. So this is a great group of people committed to the students, and they have some vacancies on their board that they need to fill. So please consider, please definitely join as a member and consider joining, running for one of the board spots if you are interested. Okay, I am now going to turn everything over to your child's teacher. Thank you for checking in. Please make sure you fill out that form if you have any questions. If you need anything, please don't hesitate to contact us in the office. We are here to help and support however we can. So thank you so much. Have a wonderful rest of your time.
Hello, parents, guardians, students, to Back to School Night 2020-2021 Virtual Learning Distance Learning Edition. My name is Mr. Gutierrez, and I'm going to be giving you a rundown on what the school year is going to look like with our virtual learning platform. First off, I'll give a quick introduction to myself. Again, my name is Sergio Gutierrez, and a couple things I enjoy doing are playing sports, watching sports, sports in general, traveling, and some good food. Here on the left is our family, taking in all our sports gear. Here in the middle was one of our trips of me, and then here on the right is our newest addition to our family, Isla. She's 7.5 months at this moment. All right, let's take a look at our weekly schedule. So this is a breakdown of important events during our week. On Monday through Thursday, we will have pretty consistent Google Meets. At 9 a.m. our check-in, at 11 a.m. where we tend to do our math, and 2 p.m. where we do our checkout. These will be consistent except on Tuesday, we change from 11 a.m. to 11:35 because of music, which takes up that 11 a.m. So on Tuesday is a little shift in our Google Meet. Our Tuesday music is 10:50 to 11:30 with Dina Myers, and Wednesday students will meet for a Google Meet for PE from 11:30 to 12:20. Let me move this to the side a little bit. Friday schedule is a little different. We have 9 o'clock and 9:30, and depending on which group students are in for care group, they will either meet at one of those two times, and students will know where they're at. That'll be consistent. That is consistent, and they have knowledge of that in their Google Classroom, which I'll be showing you. There we'll meet for care group, which is a really great program where we talk about like social, emotional, how are things going, and we understand lots of things are changing, and even though this we did a little bit of this last year, it's a big deal, and being in tune with our students and feelings and families is very important. So that's a big goal in our care groups. Google Meet on Friday will also meet at 11 and 1 o'clock. All right, a couple of things to show you also to go with our schedules is every day students will be getting one of these. It's our daily objectives. And on the left side is what objective that we're trying to meet. The middle here is our assignment. So what specifically will they be doing to meet that objective? And on the right side is where they can ask questions or comments. So they fill one of these out daily. They answer the questions on the bottom, these three here. And then they get a parent signature. So just someone at home, a guardian, someone to look over this to see how their day went, and then sign it, and then they turn this in. So this is done daily. Weekly, students will get a progress report, and this will be usually sent home via Google Classroom in the evening on Monday evenings. And the way these look are, this will tell you what week it is referring to. It'll always be the previous week. These will be the assignments that were assigned during the week, and students will get a mark here only if it was not completed or not turned in. Here I will often put notes specific for the student, and then they'll fill in these sections here. They'll fill in what was their goal from the previous week, how do they feel they did on their goal, and then they'll write in a new goal. Similar to the objectives, parents, please look over these, sign here to show that you went over it with your child, And if you have any comments on this or something else that you'd like to share with me, you can go ahead and fill them out here. These are due preferably by Wednesday. They're sent home Monday, preferably by Wednesday, but by the end of the week would be just fine too. All right, let's go back to our slides. All right, Google Meet expectations. So we'll meet Google Meets at least about 3 times every day, and the expectations are as follows. So to be on time. So when we meet at 9 a.m., whether it's 11, 9, or 2, be there on time. So information can be given to them and not have to be repeated. Sometimes it'll involve a lot of showing how to get to certain things. So that'll be hard to get to if you miss it. Be presentable. This is a big one. And so you're dressed and you're ready as if you're ready for school. So you're not lying in your bed. You're not lying down. You're up and you're ready to go. Mute mic and camera on. So when you come into the meet, mics should be muted unless otherwise specified, and cameras should be on. And we understand sometimes something's happening. So I've talked to students like, if there's, life is happening behind you. So if there's someone you need to talk to behind you or a sibling needs help, feel free to, turn off the camera and handle life, but then come back on. It makes it a lot easier for participation and things like that. I'm staying focused, so I try to make sure we're taking breaks. I try to ensure students take breaks as well on their own. If they feel they need to get up, something like that, just turn off the camera, get up and stretch, and we'll throw in some breaks there too. And we have a recess in our schedule for lunch and recess, and I always want students to make sure to make that a digital technology-free recess because you're going to be on it a lot. So make sure you're able to head outside and get that fresh air and just refresh. And lastly, another Google Meet expectations is to ask questions. Ask. A lot of this stuff isn't easy, not just the content, but how to navigate it. So making sure that you are, as sure as you can be of what you need to do. So I ask students often, I'll use the phrase advocate for yourself. If you're not sure how to do something, raise your hand and let it be known, and we can help you get there. All right, Google Classroom is a platform where students will pretty much find everything. At the beginning of the year, often we'll get a lot of questions of where will I find that? And after about a day or two, I usually say, where do you think where would be your best guess? And Google Classroom is usually the response, and that's the answer. A couple of things on Google's Classroom are the stream. So the stream shows announcements. So as I say this, I'm gonna go ahead and show you. So this is what our stream looks like. The stream is pretty bare because students can get overwhelmed with the streams. So my stream is pretty bare and it's just going to be announcements. For instance, here's care groups. Here's how do they join a certain pair deck, a certain program, and that's about it. So the stream it doesn't have where they're going to find most of their information. I like to keep the stream as for announcements, things like that. Classwork is where they're going to find their current and past assignments well organized. And this is where they will go for classwork. Right up here. And I will break this down by date. So the newest day, the date they're currently on will always be on top. So the last day we had was Friday, and here was all our activities for Friday. When Friday ends and we come into the new day, I will just simply grab this and push it to the bottom. And I will then place it right here, and then the new date would come up here. So this is where they would find their classwork organized. These are our digital notebooks and journals, and these always stay here. We access these almost every day, so they stay in one spot. So if you see, all these are backwards chronological order from the dates we've had. With a couple other things that we have organized here are important documents here, helpful links, and how-to video. And here I've created several how-to videos on how to do certain things that they're going to need to access on their Chromebooks or in the computers. For instance, how to turn in Google Slides assignments, how to insert math work, how to insert your work when you're doing math on the side, how do you put that in your work, things like that. All right, back to our slideshow. Another big section is upcoming, and it's a view of assignments due soon. So looking at our classwork, going back to our homepage, they'll have this upcoming section. And if there's something due soon, it'll tell you there. And you can click view all. And here you can take a look at all the assignments you've got. So here, this is the different view. This is the teacher view, but this will look very similar where they'll have all their assignments. Have they turned them in? Have they been graded? Are they missing? So this will be a nice overall view of everything. So this is all our assignments that we've had so far. So Google Classroom is definitely the place where students want to get familiar with. Parents as well, I would advise as well, just to, if you're going to check in on your students, that's where you want to see how's your student keeping up. All right, let's go to our next one. This is a big one that I stress: flexibility. So this is not easy. It's every household, every student has a different scenario going on. So I am very flexible with things such as late assignments. Say we had something due on Monday, but you couldn't because something came up, life happened. Maybe your computer crashed, maybe your computer's really laggy, and maybe you weren't able to make it for a meet, so you weren't sure how to do a certain thing. Late assignments are completely accepted. So hopefully to reduce the stress. Technical difficulties happen. So if that happens, letting me know as soon as possible, maybe through maybe through email or something like that is a perfect way to get there. But we understand that's going to happen with internet and very unpredictable. So knowing that technical difficulties will happen, that I'm very understanding of them. Contact me for help if a Chromebook's not working, if a certain program isn't working, if an assignment is supposed to be there but it's not for you. That'll happen. That's happened several times where I will push out an assignment for students, and then one student either is missing it, it's not there, or it just looks completely different. And that's a quick fix that I can make, but I can only make it when I'm aware of it. So making sure that's something that's passed on to me. And then other just flexibility for, like I said earlier, life happens. Maybe something, students weren't able to make it a certain day, something happened in the family, maybe an emergency, or just a bigger emergency or a smaller emergency. Taking care of your family and all that is priority number one in all of this. And I am very flexible to make sure schooling, as much as possible, does not become super stressful situation. And if at any point you find that being the case for either you, your family, or your student, please let me know as soon as possible and we can see what we can do with that. Okay, our next slide is supplies. So materials needed are pretty basic, as in a lot of these, hopefully, we're already in hand with supply pickups, Chromebook and headphones, so some kind of device. And headphones are optional, but I do feel that they can be very helpful. They can keep all the background noise or anything like that out and keep the information that they're trying to get through our meets in. Whiteboard and markers. So we will be having a supply pickup that I'll talk about more here. So if students do not have whiteboards and markers, we will be able to get that for them. Notebook and pencils, so where they can do some work on the side, especially for math. And textbooks and workbook. We should have some textbooks. We'll be passing out some more. And a workbook as well will be coming home. All right, now to our supply pickup. So our supply pickup will be Friday, the 4th. And I don't know if we have a scheduled time quite yet, but it's not going to be quite like the other one. I believe it's going to be a bigger range of time where families can come in and pick up the materials they need, and they'll be laid out out in the parking lot, all sectioned by grade level and teacher. So, as soon as information is given on that and is final, I'll be sure to pass that on to you guys. And that supply pickup will include whiteboards, headphones, and math workbooks will be able to get picked up in that as needed. So if you've got a whiteboard but you just need headphones, you can make sure you come and get those, or vice versa. But everyone should come and get their math workbooks. Okay, lastly, please contact me. I'm always very available through Parent Square if you have that downloaded, or if you have that connected to email or text. And email, I'm very often will be checking that, and no message is too late. If it's on your mind and you've got it, then you might want to send it then, or else, as we know, sometimes if we don't do certain things at certain times, they kind of slip our mind. So please feel free to reach out to me, or if you need any information, if you need help with navigating something, if your child does, making sure we're doing that, and I can do my best to help you. All right, so I appreciate it. I really appreciate the hard work that you and your children are doing. It's been only 2 weeks and 1 day, but honestly, they've been doing a great job. And every single day, I've been looking forward to to it. The participation has been amazing. All of that. We had a deer on Friday where we dropped everything and read, and the participation was awesome. I was a little worried of, all right, how's that going to work through a Google Meet? We're going to be lying there with pillows and snacks and stuffed animals and reading. Is that going to work? And students were so into it, and it was really nice to see. I was reading myself, and a couple times I would just kind of put my book down and just kind of take a peek at it, kind of as if it was in my classroom, as if I was, taking a look at everyone in my classroom in an actual classroom. And it was a really good feeling. And I've really appreciated just what a great bunch of kids that we've got. And I'm really thankful. And I look forward to you guys reaching out for any questions and comments, and any ways I can help you. All right. So thank you so much for watching, and I look forward to hearing.
Hi, I'm Dina Myers, the music teacher for general music for 4th and 5th grade. Music is a regular part of the 4th and 5th grade curriculum and will be a graded component of the report card. Assignments will be found in the Music Google Classroom and should be turned in through the Music Google Classroom. There will be a Google Meet each week and an assignment that's due each week. The Google Meets for Grover Heights are Tuesdays for 5th graders, 10:50 to 11:30, and Wednesdays for 4th graders from 10:50 to 11:30. The meets will sometimes be quiet and sometimes be loud. When we're working with instruments, the students will be expected to practice outside of the Google Meet for 5 to 10 minutes a day. Some of the time, we will be using a new curriculum software called Music First Junior. This will require an additional login because it doesn't sync with Google Classroom. We'll be using the same username that you use for other district logins and a password that will be very easy to remember. If your student would like to have more music during the week, I will be offering optional music on Mondays and Fridays. Mondays from 2:30 to 3 and Fridays from 2 to 2:30. This is not a replacement for the regular lesson. If your son or daughter needs extra help, I will also have a live meet to help anybody who comes with their music assignment. Those will be Monday from 3 to 3:30 and Friday from 2:30 to 3. The Monday session for help overlaps the optional PE time. I would encourage your student to go to PE unless they really need help with a particular music assignment. Of course, you can always ask me questions through the comments on each assignment and through Parent Square. If you ask through the assignment, I can see the assignment and probably give you the better advice. Of course, I'm happy to set up a meet with just you and your child to walk through the lesson if we need to. Okay? I've been teaching music in this district for over 25 years, and I'm looking forward to this new adventure in new ways to teach and teaching your child about music and hopefully instilling in them the love of music that I found as a student in this district. I'll see your students soon, and I hope to see you also. Bye-bye.